Hey, Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, peace and blessings to the whole elect, the house of David. Let's get into this. We're in a time that we're gonna have to give it all up. But with all these subliminal messages that's going out, like the gray state, this new trailer Civil War. We all gonna have to give it up, because if you don't, you're gonna get caught up in that. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to purposely walk into a trap knowing that you could have avoided it. It's like I'm looking for a scripture. Yeah, but you don't want to purposely walk into a trap like that. You're gonna have to let it go. That includes your status in life, your financial your financial gains, your financial status, your relationship, even your family. So let's get into it. This is Luke 14 verse 26. Check this out. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sister, yea, even his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Now, hate is not actually talking about hate, it's talking about disregard. If you're not willing to disregard your father, mother, wife, children, brother, and sister, he said, yea, even his own life. What do you mean by his own life? Literally in all sense. That's from what I just said earlier. Your financial status, your status, your current comfortable situation. You cannot be his disciple. You cannot follow him, because what we know that the bulk of the 1/3 will be those that follow after Yahweh Shai. And those that follow after Yahweh Shai learn from him. And those that learn from him are called what? His disciples. So that we all gonna have to give it up. If you're not willing to do that, you're gonna be stuck behind. And that's gonna lead to what? Your destruction. Let's get it. This is Luke chapter 17, verse 31. Listen. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife. You can't go back. You can't go back. Once you leave, don't try to go back. It's just gonna be to your destruction. Lot look back, not because she wanted to see the destruction, it's because her life was there. She looked back with longing. She looked back with longing that wanted to go back, that wanted not to depart. And what? She was turned to a pillar of salt. You know, that's it's just gonna it just is like, let's picture in this scenario, this new, say if you was in that scenario of that movie trailer Civil War. Civil War. Would you wanna, it's actually gonna be people that goes into a situation like that to where return back to the lifestyle or a similitude of that lifestyle just to only be destroyed. It's gonna be some people that do that. That's what like wife did. She was told of the coming destruction. She heard it. She saw it. She turned back because she wanted to go back in there. No matter how bad it was, she wanted to go back in there, and there's gonna be a lot of lost wives, male and female, that's gonna see how bad it is in the city. That's gonna see the draconian laws established and still want to return in there. You know, and still want to return in there for comfort. For comfort to be in the familiar. It's some people who cannot live outside of a society. They need that construct. Without that construct, these people are gonna go mad. They'll lose it. They'll run a return. Just like in the time the children of Israel left Egypt. Once they left Egypt, and they had to travel and eat. They ate that bread from heaven. But while they was eating and stuff like that, their complaints was the food there in Egypt, how it was luxury, how they had basically, I'm just like basically better eating, comfort eating, how they was more comfortable in Egypt. It's gonna be the same today. The scripture says there's no new thing under the sun. It's gonna be some people that heed to the word, but the word hasn't taken no root, and return back into those cities, back into a situation familiar to them, back into a situation they're familiar with. No matter how bad it is, remember Lot's wife. No matter how bad it is, she didn't want to leave, even though she knew it was gonna be destroyed. No matter how bad the children of Israel captivity was in Egypt, they wanted to return. Nah, you're gonna have to give it up. You're gonna have to give up that life. That's gonna be that sacrifice. That's gonna be another, that's gonna be a major sacrifice. Another one sacrifice is to give up that life. Giving up your life is just not dying. It's just not dying. It's giving. You understand how it's giving up that life, that comfort, that society structure, your 9 to 5, your status, current relationships. You're gonna have to give all that up. Giving that up is a death in itself. Giving all that up is a death in itself. If you can get somebody, take somebody and say, hey, I want you to start over. I want you to restart your life over here, somewhere in I don't know, Cuba or somewhere, with none of your resources, with none of your status. I want you to do that. Would you do that for me? They gonna look at you like you crazy. They gonna look at you like you crazy. Why? Because they know that will be an end of their life, even though they are living. But it's gonna come to a time where that MOTB gonna be implemented, and it's either you take that and be condemned, or you reject it and give up your life. You know, and relationships gonna be a stumbling block to a lot of people. A lot of people. That's why we look to Yahweh Shai for example. That's why we look to Yahweh Shai for example. Let's get it. This is John chapter 19. We're gonna start with verse 26. Listen. When Yahweh Shai therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by whom he loved, this is talking about John. Yeah, John. Just had to make sure. I almost said James, John. And he said unto his mother, woman, behold thy son. He was speaking of James, not of himself. Look, listen, do you hear that detachment? Do you hear that detachment? He just what? He just disregarded, gave up his mother. He disregarded and gave up his mother. He said unto his mother, woman, behold. He didn't say mother. He said, woman, behold thy son. Then he said to the disciple, behold thy mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her into his house, into his own home. You know, because you know he had completed it. He completed. You know, the next verse says it. He completed it. He had been what's that word I'm looking for? The word escaped me, but he had completed it. He showed that he, was truly of his father, and that he was going to ascend. He was going to be ascend because he was once he died, he was going to be begotten. Once he died, he was going to be resurrected and begotten of the grave. You know, it's kind of like him being like it's a small reputation, him being born again, because he said he was the first begotten of the it's like, let me get, I just don't want to quote it. It's like I'm gonna pause it. Okay, I found it. Yeah, he said he the first begotten of the dead, because like what did the scripture say? The womb is like, he said the womb is like, one scripture says the womb is like the grave. So what? When he died, that signified that he was, he that flesh died, but he rose again. He rose again from that grave, from that earthly grave. The woman is representing, when we all speak about the woman, we all reference her to like land. to lay our seed in for the child to be born. Scripture refers to a woman womb as the grave. You see the correlation. He died, rose again, first begotten of the dead, and the sin of his father, making him making him without mother. Let me get that scripture. This is because I want to be like what Halak talking about. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 5. Listen. And from Yahweh Shahamashah, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the king of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sin in his own blood. Once he was resurrected, once he was resurrected by his father, he obtained again that God status. That status he had before he, came down onto earth. But you're going to have to give that up. You're going to have to give that life up, just like Yahweh Shai did, to receive that glorification. To receive that glorification. To receive that glorification. What happened to Yahweh Shai? He died and rose into glory. A lot of us, that's going to happen to us. And I don't mean physically. There's some that's been predestinated to be a martyr. But there's going to be a lot of us. Well, the rest of us is going to give up our lives in that other manner I spoke of. Your status, your financial situation, your relationships. You're going to give that up, So, I'm going to draw it to a close, With that, I hope you was edified. Again, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, peace and blessings to the whole elect, the house of David, and to next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.